I did it. Who do you think you are? It's weird how nobody thinks about Dave Matthews anymore. In fact, if you think of a lot of the sort of really famous people from the early 2000s that weren't metal or anything like that, like kind of the acoustic college rock people, feels like they've just become like totally irrelevant. Like, I don't really keep up with this stuff, but has John Mayer done anything that anybody thinks about at all anymore? What about like Jack Johnson? Like, have you ever heard anybody talk about Jack Johnson? I'm kind of glad he's gone, but still. Making banana pancakes. True story. Somebody dragged me to a Jack Johnson concert one time. And if you think like all his songs sound the same, like on the record, very true in an arena. Really, think about it. If you're like one of those white singer-songwriter dudes from the early 2000s, you're nowhere. Like, where's Ben Folds? Where's the Five for Fighting guy? I'm not saying it's all bad though. At least we got rid of the guy from Train. Some of the metal dudes have stayed around, so that's nice, but it's like an extinction event. Part of it seems like it's probably people don't play instruments anymore, or like it just isn't cool to be kind of earthy and acoustic and stuff. Like, that's just not that's not how people play it. Chances are, is there a better bet than love? Gone without a trace. Gonna do a morning roundup. Think we're gonna have a hardcore day. I mean, this is it right here. So I've got some of the coffee from yesterday, and then I added some coffee to it, put it in the fridge. We're not even going out for coffee. That's the point of that story. So there was something here. I already took it off because I wasn't even thinking about it. And I don't remember what it is, but it was really cool. D20 Bank. Of course, we got the old guitar snake. We're using the blue filament to make this octopus. I've said this before, but the tentacles that we're gonna make next, it's just a pain to paint them. So sometimes I actually just use colored filament to make it a little bit easier. Yep, David. I think this is for a Gratitude Gang member. This is, of course, it's on there pretty good. This is a spiral dice tower, kind of a small one. This is kind of a rare-ish one to make this big, but this is a German Shepherd dish. People love these. Of course, Sharkies, like I said, we went through the stockpile. Now it's time to actually just make some. Einstein, you know it. And this is actually a coin bank that I made a while back. I was really into making coin banks. The only one, of course, that sold is the D20 bank that you guys see all the time. But it's so hard to get this to print right. I'll probably just try it on a different printer. I tried this like twice. Fortunately, it's not due like right now. I kind of try to make these well in advance because sometimes it takes a couple times to get it to dance with the one who brung ya. There's a little desk organizer for somebody. It's really cool. I just want to print desk organizers all day sometimes. Very satisfyingly, this is a large David can. This is actually like the first this is the first trash can I ever made, I believe. But yeah, he's coming out real good. Looks fine. This is a T-Rex head. We got to make the little arms after this is done, but that doesn't take that long. Probably the most exciting item of the morning, the Nosferatu trash can. As you can see, this is a very striking piece right here. Can't wait till that's done. Just got a great message from somebody. I asked them to leave a review because of how good this was. They said, "Hi there, I just want to say that I received my order today and thank you." 3 exclamation marks. This has to be one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I will definitely be ordering from you again in the future. Thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday. 2 exclamation marks. Cryptic. That was very nice. It was for a T-Rex. Well, we're about to put together the burger and stuff. I got to get bolts from Lowe's, and probably gonna grab some boxes there. I got a whole bunch of boxes at the beginning of this, but it couldn't hurt to have a few more. Kind of a random thought I'm having, but you guys ever notice in the early 90s in music, there's a lot of dudes that were famous that were kind of betas or beta coded. Not that I really think in terms of like alpha and beta and all that kind of stuff that much, but it's just like, think about like Beck. You know, his big song was Loser. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? Like, that's a pretty beta thing to be famous for saying. And like, I'm not knocking their music really, like, but Kurt Cobain, great lyrics, but that's kind of what Heart-Shaped Box is about. You know, it's about being like super whipped. And whether he killed himself or, you know, the girlfriend did him in, neither of those are particularly flattering. Maybe it's just like, you know, some of that hair metal stuff, it was almost kind of sort of macho, but not really at the same time. Maybe they just wanted to be kind of the opposite of that. So I like to get these black coated ones. Basically these, you'll see if you haven't seen before, these go inside the burger and hold it together, 3 of them. And for the most part, you can't see them once the thing is assembled, but if you get the silver ones, sometimes a little glint of something is kind of visible. So it's nice to get the black ones, because then you like pretty much can't see anything. It looks completely perfect. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. More mole tacos. I remember the last time I forgot to put the purple onions on there. But yeah, al pastor, Salvadorian cream with the mole, just amazing. Let's get the black octo packaged. Okay, I had to touch up the cheese a tiny bit, so it took a second to dry. But we're gonna show you how you actually assemble the burger. This is where all the design work to make the burger happen came into play. Like, actually figuring out how it all attaches. The first part is we put each of the bolts in here, and I've actually figured out it helps to sort of tape them in there. So I kind of get it like this, and then we're gonna put the next layer on top. Believe it or not, I actually did a lot of research on what like chefs and professionals said the order of the ingredients on a burger should be, and best I could figure out, next is tomatoes. Once you get it kind of connected, you kind of just keep slapping each one down until it's seated. Eventually you seat it down, and you can see this is starting to look pretty burgery. Next, you do lettuce. There we go. You can see the color is nice and consistent on the cheese now. I didn't want to have to do a return on this thing. Cheese. There we go, baby. Well, let's get some stuff ready to paint. This is a big old hippo dish right here, big as they come. Big old German Shepherd. Came out real nice. This guitar snake is done, but we gotta put green eyes on the monster. Just a classic Nietzsche right here. Gotta get the mustache. Small froggy dish. Pretty much came out just fine. Einstein, no hook. Really nice Great Dane. We made this a good while ago, but it's finally time to ship the Jack Russell Terrier leash holder for the wall. Also works for dog toys, all different kinds of things. If you want one of these, just message me and I will make you one. I can probably make it a bunch of different dog breeds. Got another guitar snake, really selling a lot of these. And this one's going black and white fade, and it's gonna have black eyes, which is pretty cool. We can customize this if you want one. Small T-Rex skull. Sharky boy, yeah. Big frog dish, came out pretty good. Marcus Aurelius. Another D20 bank. This is something you don't see too often. This is the big pug boy. Pug recovery collar dish. Moai 3. Got a lot of Moais sold lately. Just shoveling these things out the door, man. X gonna give it to you what? Gonna get it on your own. X gonna deliver to you. X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. Knock, knock, open up the door. It's real. The bad mother effers with the stainless steel. Another Sharky. We're getting a bunch done today, baby. Candy pipe, can't be beat. Candy hot cereal with the cocoa treat. Alligator skull, just like the ones I made for Bad Boys, Ride or Die. T-Rex, this guy is going bronze. Another Great Dane. Last thing before we paint, one more Sharky boy. So very quick story time. Obviously, a lot of the things I make have supports. I generally like to design things so they don't have supports, but it's kind of inevitable. What I've been doing this entire Christmas season is taking, every time I've got supports like this, I put them in one of the blenders because this is the easiest stuff to blend up for recycling, and I have gotten a lot of it. I think the two big goals for this coming year, lots and lots of new products, and we're gonna try to level up the recycling process. Obviously, it has worked for a long time, but I really wanna get it more efficient. Like, it's efficient enough to do, but the thing is, there's a lot of machines and stuff that I could build that would aid me in making it happen more quickly. To illustrate the kind of thing I'm talking about, let's take a piece like this, or maybe we can go, like, here's an old failed alien hand. Now, what I normally have to do to get this in small enough pieces to put it in a blender is I bang it, have a big flat piece of wood on the floor, and I throw this against it. And then I throw the biggest pieces against it again, which actually works fairly well. It's not the worst process ever. But I'm thinking about creating some kind of press or something like that. Or maybe I might use a winch that automatically releases when it gets to a certain point, and it has like a big weight. And then there's like a bunch of plastic stuff, and this big weight drops on it. And maybe you let that go for a couple hours or something. And so that will pulverize a lot of this big plastic. And from there, I just have to use the garbage compactor. I think this is still plugged in. Yep. And once it's in the garbage compactor and you smash it a good number of times, it's definitely small enough to fit in the blenders. So I'm thinking about creating some machines and stuff that are going to make the recycling process even more efficient. Plus, we're probably going to invest in a large industrial blender because it's worth a shot. Every time somebody said, I've got to hand it to you, they never have. All right, let's do a little before. One Moai to do. These guys are gold. I'm kind of getting different color areas. These guys are going silver. Sharkies. These guys are going white or fade. Bronze, blue, and all these are going black and are going to have some amount of white put on them afterwards. I just sold a D20, a gold D20. We probably should see how many we've got left. We'll give you a sense of how far we are through the stockpile. So you remember there's some more sharks around here. Weirdly, haven't sold that many of these Celtic trash cans. Oh, there's another shark hiding under here. That's nice. And let's see, that's one D20 back there, 2, 3. Yeah, I thought we had 3 left. There was one over there, but we sold it. Still got a few sharks, sold one of these aliens. And weirdly, the pipe cans, haven't sold any of those. And I haven't sold this extra mimic can either. But yeah, we got a little reserve here. I bet we will sell close to all of these extra sharks. Best thing I ever did this Christmas season is make some extra D20s. You do not want to have to be making those in a rush. So I was in the middle of doing the thing, and I was, of course, noticing that I'm printing a T-Rex head there. I totally forgot. I made like a whole extra one. So I didn't even have to print that. I guess we still have an extra T-Rex. And here is after. Of course, got a Stony Boy there. These guys are gold. Sharkos. Silver Boys. These guys have to get the white pass. And these guys, yep. And of course, the Great Danes here. Oh, man. Whoa. Oh. Got a bunch of stuff painted. Got a bunch of stuff printing. Filament's almost done over there. Yeah, pretty close to done. I think we can officially shut down the store for the day. I'll give you one last look at this Nosferatu. A lot got done today. Look at that guy. Looking pretty good so far, man. Oh. Ugh. Wow. She's a very beautiful woman. Oh, let's see. What am I grateful for today? Honestly, getting that burger out the door is a big relief. The thing with the burger, it's like, if you figure out that there's some problem you didn't think of, it's like, you're gonna have to reprint a component of it and then repaint it and do all this stuff. It's like, I love selling the burgers. It's one of the things that I've made that's gotten the most clicks out of anything in my life. But it's a pretty big project. It's like doing, I mean, when I first did the burger, it was like a special project that I did pretty much just for fun. I mean, of course I was trying to make money with it, but I really made it because I wasn't even sure I could. You know, I wasn't sure I could make like a really big thing that could be shipped, that you could print all the layers and it would all fit together and you'd get these giant carriage bolts and stuff. Like, it made sense, but I just kind of did it to challenge myself. And I've sold several of them, but yeah, it's a lot of work. Grateful for a lot of things. I don't say it enough, but I'm grateful for all of you guys. It really makes a big difference that you guys would take time, usually out of your morning, but whenever you're watching this, to just check out what I'm doing and see how a 3D printing business does in fact work. I had the idea that this is a little bit like a digital apprenticeship. The only reason I wouldn't totally say that is you don't have to feel like you can watch this show for any reason you want. But if you're trying to get a vision for having a business of some kind or doing 3D printing on some level, it's like, this is kind of like being my apprentice or something like that. You get to see like how it actually works, or at least how I do it. There's a lot of things that people do in different ways, but this is certainly one manifestation of that type of business. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting real vision for next year, making a bunch of cool products and just doing new things. The channel is slowly growing, and it'll probably grow. I mean, it's only been like 4 months, and that'll probably grow. We'll get more people in the Discord, and I'll maybe get to interview people or something like that. we'll go back to featuring businesses once Christmas is done, because that was a big thing I was doing before. People really enjoyed it, and I want to do a bunch more, and then I just want to do like other things. I want to think of like what having this YouTube channel allows me to do that wasn't possible before. And I feel like there's just so many possibilities. I'm really trying to think through it. Certainly, one is introducing a lot of you guys' businesses to the Gratitude Gang in general. And just doing stuff that brings more connection and more interchange. But like I've said before, if you want, join the Discord server. Just message me on Facebook. Link is in the main YouTube page. And it's been really good. It's been really, really good. For last episode, Dash Render on Discord, on the comments and questions thread, which we give priority to, says, I would love for you to go through your heat gun process. It's pretty simple. Usually what I do, you kind of see me doing this, I scrape away as much as I can on the print, and then I heat gun. And then, like, if you have threads that kind of congeal, then once you've heat gunned it, it's pretty easy to scrape that off. So it's like scrape, heat gun, scrape. But most stuff comes out cleanly enough that it's pretty simple. I mean, it's not rocket science. The only thing you got to do is make sure you don't melt the print. There's a real art to how long you heat gun parts of it. You want to do it so that it does what it's supposed to do, but you don't want to warp the thing, obviously. Erica and Ben on YouTube say, I'm grateful the algorithm introduced me to your channel. They go on to say that I inspired them to kind of expand their laser cutting hobby into a small business that generated enough that they could buy their kids Christmas presents. I'm sure your kids are grateful for that. Good job. Head 420 says that they love Sneaker Pimps. They're more into Portishead. They're talking about my trip hop playlist from yesterday. Both are good. I wish Sneaker Pimps had more stuff. Portishead obviously is one of the biggest names in trip hop. Massive Attack is great. Trip hop is really not that big a club when you think about it. An interesting thing about the trip hop genre from Britain is it's like there was this societal fabric declining during that era of Britain's history. And when you hear those like aesthetics in trip hop that are like sampling old music or have like old aesthetics, and there's a kind of melancholy to the whole thing, it's almost like that's what trip hop was trying to capture. And it's really, really sad kind of music, but very entrancing. There's really something to it. Sandingo, friend of the channel, says, did you ever tell the story of how you ended up in Nacogdoches? I don't know how to spell it. It is a little bit tricky. It's a long enough story. I would say save that question for episode 200. Anyone that hasn't been watching that long, hey, it's a good channel to subscribe to. I don't tell people to subscribe. I never say like and subscribe. I will say though, this is a good channel to subscribe to, but you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. But yeah, if you're recently watching, every 100 episodes we decided that we're doing a Q&A. It's a long enough time that, like, you know, that's like 3 months basically. It's just a really long story, and I've touched on it in previous episodes, but never maybe told the whole story, so save it for episode 200. Okay, well, yeah, that's probably good for now. It is, as you may have predicted, gratitude time. Right now, I am grateful that I haven't fully collapsed yet, but I'm close. So write in the comments what you are grateful for. We create a positive, uplifting, encouraging environment in this comment section and on the Discord server. Both are really important. And yeah, we like people to contribute to that. So tell me what you're grateful for in the comment section here on YouTube. It could be something small, It could be the fact that you didn't have a flat tire today. If you've ever had a flat tire, you know it sucks. Especially if your rim is bent, then it really sucks. Think about how glad you are that that didn't happen to you today. There's no reason not to. Write about it in the comment section. Tell me how your grandma's doing, how Meemaw's doing. We are a proud people. We are the Gratitude Gang. We are strong. No one could tell us we're wrong. All you have to do to be in the Gratitude Gang posse is be grateful. Nobody does that. Think about it. Think about people in your life. None of them are grateful for anything. That may not definitely be true, but it's probably true. So be the light of the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the gratitude that sets you apart and gives you both an advantage and a vantage point for looking at the world in a fresh and creative and generous and uplifting way. That's what we do. We are the Gratitude Gang. I will see you on the next episode. Peace.